going to finish the construction of the foreshore road, which would have served as an alternative route before you commence traffic diversion?
Sure. I think it's very important to explain that, again, we have a concession agreement that deals with the rehabilitation and upgrade of Lekki Expressway. That's where Lagos State government has very kindly given us the right of way. But I have to say this, and I think it's a very important point, that Lagos State government, knowing the implications of the project, has actually embarked upon a number of access roads that will make the entire project even more efficient. One of those roads is the foreshore road. So that's actually Lagos State government doing that, as opposed to Lekki Concession Company. So it's not in our position just to go and use the road. We've focused on our concession area.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Oforiokuma. Viewers, this is Lagos Traffic Today, and it is a program reaching out to you this afternoon with two gentlemen from the Lekki Concession Company, whom I introduced earlier on. I will be just talking quickly to Mr. Mevery on my left in the studio before we take a break. Now, Mr. Mevery, it's obvious that there will be some offsets as far as movement on the road is concerned during this period.
Yes.
I'm talking about the public now.
Yes.
So how do you relate to them to make sure that they don't feel harassed or necessarily troubled by what is going on as far as the construction is concerned?
Okay, thank you, Femi. I mean, importantly, we take our communications and stakeholder relationship management issues very seriously at LCC. And as a matter of fact, we continuously engage stakeholders and the general public. We make sure that we are in touch with them. We make sure that we make ourselves accessible to them, and that information is provided at every time, depending on what aspects of works are being executed. So you will find that there is hardly a time when LCC will embark on any aspect of the project and will not let the public know what is going on. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So you will find us in the press. You will find us in the media.
Always
in
talking to the public.
Absolutely, it's part of
that means you're taking their situation. You put it in your...
Well, it's critical, and it's something that we respect, and it's something that we will continue to respect.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mevery. The program Lagos Traffic Today will continue shortly. We'll be taking this break for a couple of minutes, and we'll be back to talk to Lekki Concession Company people.
In conformity with the Babatunde Raji Fashola administration's style of doing things properly, riding Okada in Lagos State is about to change for the better. Henceforth, all Okada riders must obtain riders' cards without any further delay. To ensure safety and security, passengers should ask for Okada operators' riders' cards. Henceforth, Okadas must not carry more than one passenger, must not carry a pregnant woman, a woman with a child on her back, children of school age, and a passenger with luggage. Also note that Okadas must observe all traffic laws, especially traffic light signals, riding against traffic or on the curb. Remember, both rider and passenger must wear helmets. The police, LASMA, KAI, and others are now fully on ground to enforce these rules. Safety for all is a priority of the BRF administration. Passengers can help to ensure this by encouraging good behavior from the riders. Safety is important. We can do it. This message is from the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation.
Indeed, that means Lagos will continue to be, the front line as far as development is concerned in the country called Nigeria. Okay, I'm still talking to Mr. Charles Mevery, the head of corporate affairs of the Lekki Concession Company. Now, you have to tell us what specific plans you have as far as breakdown and recovery is concerned, considering the huge negative effects of any vehicular breakdown, during this kind of period which you're working there.
Absolutely. I mean, when these situations are brought to our attention, and we frequently rely on people on the road to bring such situations to our attention, then we immediately mobilize tow trucks and ensure that those tow trucks are taken to the scene of the breakdown and that the vehicle is quickly removed. The important thing is to ensure that vehicles are quickly removed and the traffic is flowing continuously at all times. And of course the people are not inconvenienced by the hold-up.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mr. Memory. I'll go back to Mr. Oforiokuma. Lekki Concession has given a timeline, for the completion of this project in the past, and on several occasions, there were some kind of shortfall as far as these deadlines were concerned. What is that assurance right now that LCC will keep to, the timeline you gave us when we started the program?
Well, I think most importantly, Femi, a lot of the conditions that have been the cause of some of the delay previously have gone away. Albeit there are still challenges which we continue to work together, to resolve. The states, other people together. But I'll give you a bit of an insight. The most significant challenge that we faced much earlier on, so going back up to say about a year ago, was closing the financing package for the project. But it's good news because, in October last year, we closed on groundbreaking terms, I have to say, for the country, the full complement of monies needed to execute this project from start to finish. And that's very good because it puts the project on a very stable footing, and then we can look to the future with certainty. Other challenges have dealt with right-of-way issues. I mean, this is not unusual, being frank with you, in projects such as this. It could be that, a bit of land needs to get cleared and people need to be taken along, or issues dealt with. Sometimes there are obstructions to the road, such as electricity pylons that need to be relocated out of the right-of-way. Of course, if you don't have that space, you can't work. But the state government has continued to work with us as far as possible to make these things a lot easier. Now, with this particular roundabout, the difference with other parts of the road is that it is in an isolated location. Okay, so as long as we don't have, for example, problems such as the weather. I mean, at the moment it's really, really wet, and rainfall does affect when you're doing what we call earthworks. Sure. Moisture, can be problematic. And of course, importantly, our contractor, High Tech, has got to perform and deliver, the job on time. And we continue to work close with them as well to ensure that they have all the support from us, as the state also gives to us, to get this done. So we're quietly confident we can do it in February 2010.
Okay. I'll go back to Mr. Mevore. How do you ensure, what channels are open to the public to feed you back, in case they want to get across to you? Yeah. They have complaints, suggestions, opinions to pass across to you.
Absolutely. I mean, we publish our email address, which is info@lcc.com.ng. Otherwise, we leave ourselves wide open for an SMS only line, which is 0808 373 779.
Okay,
yes.
Give that number again, please.
Yeah, 0808 373 779.
That's a dedicated line.
That's a dedicated SMS only, text messages, which we obviously will look at and respond as quickly as possible.
Okay, you want to give me an idea of, the kind of responses, just a little bit into the kind of responses you've been getting? Is it just all kudos, or you have some knocks?
Well, it's been a mixed basket, but I would say that generally speaking, they've been very encouraging. And then people have obviously realized that it's not possible to build a road without inconveniencing. But what's important is that that dialogue continues, and that people are at all times informed and preempted about things we're going to be doing.
Okay, do you think, do you suppose that people are convinced, that no matter the inconveniences they suffer at this time, it's going to be compensated for, by the time the project is completed? Well,
I think the first 2 kilometers that have been developed so far on the Azuba Badiwe Avenue are a testament to what people should expect from LCC. And I believe that having produced that, and with the kind of feedback we've received from that point, they only have good things to look forward to.
Okay. Now, viewers, The program is still Lagos Traffic Today, and I'm hosting today Mr. Opuiyo Oforiokuma, the MD, Chief Executive Officer, Lekki Concession Company, as well as the Head of Corporate Affairs Communications, Lekki Concession Company, Mr. Charles Imel.